Welcome to It's Major. My name is Tabor Cook. Mississippi State is a large comprehensive institution with over 180 majors and emphasis, and all of those majors live in unique academic homes. It's Major is a series where we highlight those academic homes and all the possibilities and opportunities within them. And today, it's Major with the College of Business. The Mississippi State College of Business is over 100 years old. It's the oldest in the state and among the oldest in the Southeastern Conference. And through those 100 years, that has birthed nationally recognized programs in accounting and globally recognized alumni. And today we're going to learn about those 100 years with Kelsey Waters, our Assistant Director of Recruiting and Events for the College of Business. Hey Kelsey, how are you?
Hi Deborah, how are you?
I am great.
Good.
So good to have you. And so tell us a little about yourself and how you got into the College of Business.
Yeah, so I've actually been recruiting since 2011. I've been with Mississippi State since 2012. So I was actually the East Coast recruiter for a while. So I lived in South Carolina. And then about 2017, I came back to campus and took on the role in the College of Business. So it's been a lot of fun. I'm glad to be back in Starkville.
Gotcha. So it's exciting working in the College of Business?
Oh, absolutely. We have a really great office, and I have my students around me all the time, which is what I missed when I was regional. So now I get to see them all the time. Like today, I got a present. It was fun.
So what all do you enjoy most about being a part of the college?
My favorite part about being in the college is, like I said, being with the students and getting to see them kind of like take on these goals and these challenges that happen to them within their college curriculum and their college journey. But I think it's just really been neat to see the relationships, because it's not just me, it's happening under the entire roof of McCool Hall, which houses the entire College of Business. So like with faculty and staff, even our dean really gets to know all of our students in the College of Business.
So let's talk about your work as Assistant Director of Recruiting and Events. Like, what do you do?
I spend a lot of time writing postcards, so I hope that really gets seen. But I work with all of our incoming students, so freshmen and transfer that are coming over. I also work with our College of Business Ambassador program. So as I recruit students and get to know them, I try to push them to get involved on campus. One of the easiest ways to do that is to be an ambassador for the college, and they get to help me interact with upcoming students that come after them.
So you interact with a lot of students?
All the time.
So is that your favorite part of your job?
100%.
We can tell.
I know, it's really sad.
So many may think being a business student is all about just wearing a business suit and a briefcase and going to class, but it's much more than that. So I think this would be a great time to let's hear about what those business students are doing in their classes.
I chose business because it did give me the ability to diversify. As a student, you learn some of the key concepts that you would need to help companies make decisions and allocate their scarce resources, utilizing accounting, economics, and statistics.
I've learned so much within this program, and what's great about it too is that they really focus on networking and getting to know people. Mississippi State really makes you collaborate, have those group projects, so you're really able to get to know your classmates and be able to really get to know your expertise.
The primary goal of our risk management and insurance program is to prepare students for careers in the industry. We allow our students to travel to conferences or symposiums across the nation.
The Tennessee Valley Authority Investment Challenge is between 25 different schools, and here at Mississippi State, for the past 3 years, we have beat the S&P 500 and stood out as a top school within this.
Mississippi State University has been doing Insurance Day for over 30 years now. This is an opportunity for industry professionals to come back to campus, and a lot of these are alumni, but it's also an opportunity for our students to interact with the industry while they're back on campus.
The Strategic Finance Lab is a lab that finance and the College of Business students have access to. You can go in and you can really look at their financial data. You get to look at what analysts say about this stock.
We want our students to be able to understand what it's like to work in the industry prior to graduation and also know what job opportunities are out there.
Awesome. Thank you to that group. And one thing we heard from the finance, insurance, and economics students is that they participate in lots of professional development opportunities. Is that something that's common across all business students?
I think that's one of the biggest goals of the College of Business, honestly. I tell my students all the time that, yes, we want to prepare you for a career, but we're trying to round you out as a whole human. So we need you to be able to interact with lots of different people from a lot of different places, and that professional development is really what kind of like helps that experience happen for them, whether it's internships, job fairs, different conferences they attend. It's just ways for us to really help them build their tool belt so that they can go out into the world and be ready to take on those challenges.
That's perfect. And so one thing we also heard was that students got a chance to interact with the industry. And tell us more about the students getting that opportunity.
Yeah, I think, like I said, the industry is coming to campus all the time, but I think the internships are really what kind of set our students apart. Not just because it sets them up for great jobs afterwards, but like I told my students all the time, in the sense of it lets you see what you really want to do. So the internships, yes, great for helping you find a job after graduation, but also helping you kind of make those networks and those connections so that you can kind of navigate the industry and really land where you want to be and not just in the box you think you're supposed to be in.
So tell us, like, what are some of the internships that students participate in?
Yeah, so all of our accounting students actually do internships kind of across the country. The big 4 accounting firms are the big ones that we always talk about, and I've had students go everywhere from New Orleans to New York to Atlanta to Memphis. International Paper, FedEx, Marathon Petroleum, these are all companies that have partnerships with us that take on some of our really just the best and brightest students we have to give them the opportunities.
There were students in a room filled with like computers and monitors. What's that space?
That's the Strategic Finance Lab. So that's where our students are actually able to learn from Bloomberg terminals, which are the same terminals they use if they were to go on Wall Street. But they learn how to do the research of how to predict trends in stocks, how to invest. And it's a skill that I definitely don't know how to do. And if I learned, I might be living a little bit brighter, you know. So.
Are there a lot of schools that have finance labs like ours?
Not necessarily to the same extent, so our students are getting that opportunity. My best friend actually graduated and works in finance in New York, and she said that one of the reasons she got her job so quickly as a leadership role is because she had the actual experience and not just, let's pretend we're going to make investments. You handle $500,000 of live money on the stock exchange every year.
That's awesome.
It's a lot of money.
So speaking of unique learning environments, the College of Business prides itself on providing those opportunities to our students. And let's take a look to learn more about those educational opportunities.
Milo is the Market Innovation Lab and Observatory. We've got eye tracking software in there, facial recognition, and then we've also got EEG readers that go on the head and read brainwaves to some extent. We're among the first universities in the Southeast to have the extensive lab that we have. Milo is really enhancing the employment opportunities for our students right now. It's an amazing research tool, period, for students. Corporations are using it too, and so it looks really good for the students to have experience using it when they leave here. Since we've introduced Milo, we've seen a real increase in the traction that it's getting with our students. It's really interesting to me to see the types of students who are interested in this research because they're coming from all the different business disciplines. So any student who's inquisitive, who's interested in the business world, they're going to love this stuff.
Thank you to Dr. Brazil. So who is Milo?
Who is Milo? It's not exactly a person, but it did just get a facelift. So that lab you just saw actually was renovated over the summer. So now instead of having just the 2 cubicles with the computers, we actually have a whole laboratory space. And so it stands for the Market Innovation Lab and Observatory, and that's where our students are able to do this biometric research that's really kind of taken over a lot of industries.
Yeah, Dr. Brazil mentioned how Milo is enhancing the employment opportunities for our students. So where do our students get jobs?
Yeah, so I will say a lot of our students think Milo is strictly for our marketing students because they do look at like advertisements and products and try to make sure that the customer that's watching the ads are reacting in the way that they want to, because it tracks your sweat, it tracks your heart rate, it tracks how your eyes land on the screen. But I think one of the coolest ones is that one of my students that just graduated this last May, she works at Chewy in Florida, you know, the place that sends your dog stuff. Yes. So she's working there as a data analyst for Chewy to try to predict the trends that are happening in the e-commerce world that Chewy represents. So you can really take it and do anything. She was an accounting student and use the same Milo technology to realize how people are interacting with their data on like spreadsheets and how they present that to their company.
That's important. Mm-hmm. So explain other unique spaces in the College of Business.
Yeah, so we're going to have really cool things like Strategic Finance Lab and Milo, like we've already talked about. We also have a golf simulation lab for our pro golf management students. So it's got the big screen in the back that you can actually play golf on any course in the world. I'm not very good, so I don't go. But we also have the E-Center, which is probably one of the coolest places on campus. Students actually see it when they come tour Mississippi State, no matter what their major is. So you can actually walk by and see that space. But that's where our students learn to take their ideas and make it into their own careers.
And for the record, I am the best golfer in this interview, and I love that place.
Hands down, best golfer in this interview.
Easily. Are students who aren't marketing and finance, you talked about that, are they getting a chance to get in those spaces?
Absolutely. So like I said, Shay was an accounting major, so she was able to use that space. But then also the eCenter is open to students not just within the College of Business. They're actually open to students all across campus. So in my opinion, it's one of the most collaborative spaces on campus because it really does what Mississippi State, in my opinion, stands for, which is kind of looking around our community and seeing what gaps we have, and then our students are figuring out ways to fill those gaps and provide services to the community.
You said eCenter multiple times. So tell our families, what is the eCenter?
So the eCenter is the Center for Entrepreneurship and Outreach, and so like I said, it's a really exciting place within the College of Business. But this is where you can actually go in at any stage of a development of an idea. Like you can have a dream one night and wake up and say, I want to make this. Or you can have a full functioning business you've been doing since high school. But you take it in and we'll help you through funding stages, and then eventually you get to our Bulldog Angel Network. And from there you can actually get fully funded so that when you graduate, you can go work for yourself, which is always the goal, right?
It is,
Yeah.
for sure. and for the record, I have had a couple of products from the eCenter. I like Jitter Bean Coffee, which is delicious. Now, with over 100 years of preparing students, I know the College of Business has created some unique programs. And so what are some of those unique programs that you offer in the college?
Yeah, so one of them that I just said was the Pro Golf Management Program, and this is for students that are aspiring to be within the golf industry. So it's not just going to be about learning to play golf and be better at it like I should, but actually taking that passion and making a career out of it. We also have a really strong international business program, so for students that are interested in business, but also culture, language, travel, they can add that to any business major we offer. And then also one that's really big right now is our supply chain management program. So as we've all been living through our world that we live in right now, making sure we get our product to our customers is something that a lot of people are really interested in. And that program has been seeing a lot of uptick in the interest for that program.
And thank you to those students in that program.
Toilet paper.
No, Amazon just in general shows up at my house daily because of the work that our
Because the work
students
they do, that's it.
It's no surprise that the College of Business students are a diverse group and have many interests. And many of those students can be found in the Shackles Honors College. So let's learn more about the Shackles Honors College.
Hello there, everybody. My name is Wade Leonard. I'm the outreach coordinator for the Shackles Honors College at Mississippi State University, and I'm about to explain to you how to accept your invitation into the Shackles Honors College. First of all, just to review, you qualify for automatic invitation if the following criteria are met. You have a minimum 30 or higher on the ACT or the SAT equivalent, and yes, we do SuperScore. And you must also have at least a 3.75 or higher high school GPA. Once you've been admitted into the university, you should get an email inviting you to join the Shackles Honors College as long as those other two criteria apply. However, if you missed that email or if you can't find it, you can still accept your invitation into the Honors College. Whether you got the email or not, if you have a 30 on the ACT and a 3.75 GPA, you have been invited to join the Shackles Honors College. And here's how you can accept that invitation. So in order to accept your application, the first thing you're going to be doing is going to your application management portal from the university. You can get to that through the email you get inviting you to join the Shackles Honors College, but you don't even have to open the email. You can simply go straight to your application portal. You're going to log in. And you'll be taking the application management page. From the application management page, you need to click Start New Application. You need to select Shackles Honors College application, and you need to click Create Application. Then you need to click Open Application. And you'll see this: congratulations, based on your GPA and ACT score, you qualify for admission by invitation into the Shackles Honors College. To accept your invitation, click the Continue button below, then click the Submit Application button on the review section. Click Continue, and then click Submit Application. You have to click Submit Application, else you're not finished. And then up here you have to say OK. And after that, congratulations, you're good to go. You are a member of the Shackles Honors College. Tell you about another couple of ways you can keep up with everything that's going on in the Honors College. First of all, Honors has a podcast. It's called Honorable Mentions. and you can find it anywhere you get podcasts. It's on iTunes, it's on Spotify, it's on Stitcher, it's on Google Play, it's on all the things. So check that out. Also, if you'd like to talk to me directly, you can email me anytime at wleonard@honors.msstate.edu, or you can visit me during one of my weekly Zoom sessions. Every Tuesday night at 6 p.m., I host a Zoom session where I talk to people about the Honors College. So please join me for those. You can find the registration links at our website at honors.msstate.edu. That's honors.msstate.edu, or you can just go over to the Shackles Honors College Facebook page. Thanks a lot, guys. I hope I get to see you all sometime really, really soon.
Thank you, Wade, and to the Shackles Honors College. You guys now know how to accept your invitation. Kelsey, this is the time that we take questions, and so get your questions in. All of our viewers, be sure to type your questions into the chat box or the Q&A, and we'll be able to answer that. But while they're getting their questions together, tell us how students can visit you.
Yeah, so absolutely. So students can come and visit in lots of different ways. So if you do decide that you want to come to campus, going in through our admissions website and signing up is the easiest way. And then once you get your campus visit scheduled, then you can actually request to meet with me in the College of Business. We'll sit down, we'll go over majors, we'll talk about all your hopes and dreams. It'll be a lot of fun. But if you can't make it to campus, or if you come to campus and just run out of time and don't make the call to come visit with me, I do really great virtual visits, and they're all on the student schedule. So if a student wants to email me at kwaters@business.msstate.edu, or call Tabora and he'll get you to me. But if you want to do that, we can make a lot of different things work, whether it's on campus or virtually.
Awesome. So Ms. Jill Robinette asks, how do AP credits transfer to MSU? Actually, this is a question we can both answer.
Yeah, you go ahead.
And so for students who are trying to get their AP credits to us, we ask that you just send us those test scores directly from the testing site, and you send that to Mississippi State, send it to admit@msstate.edu, and then we will evaluate those and get you credit for them. Now, the credit does differ from department to department and based on program to program, but you can also look at our website. If you go to msstate.edu and search AP credits, you'll see what scores will get you what credits. Keep those questions coming. Good question. And if we don't get to your question today, be sure to email us at admit@msstate.edu. That's admit@msstate.edu. So we heard you talk about the golf program. So if I am a golfer, should I try to be a PGM student?
So if you are a golfer and you want to try, I would say you don't need to do it just because you are a golfer. You need to do it because you truly love the game and you could possibly see yourself having a career in the industry. So whether that's being an instructor or running a golf course or working at Titleist, because it's actually a marketing degree with a concentration in pro golf management. So I tell students all the time, your degree is the main thing you study, and then the concentration does exactly that. It just concentrates deeper down into your major, right? So you're still gonna have that marketing background, but it's gonna focus deeper into the game of golf and kind of the business of golf. So yes, you need to be able to play because you have to have an 8 or better handicap, but then you also need to just really love the business itself because you're gonna be eating, sleeping, and breathing golf for the rest of your life.
So if students are interested in getting their MBA, how do we have opportunities for our undergraduate students to do that?
Absolutely. So coming in through the College of Business, they're actually going to hit all of their prerequisite courses needed to hit into the MBA, which is basically meaning the classes that you need to launch yourself into the MBA career. What's been really interesting over the last year is we've had a big influx in students that are really interested in this. For anybody who's not familiar with an MBA, that's the Masters of Business Administration. So if you get your undergrad in accounting, finance, econ, any of those majors that we have, you can stay for 1 extra year and graduate with an extra degree. You get an extra football season, and you get to hang out with us in McCool just a little bit longer. I think one of the things that a lot of people need to know, though, is that we have an option for students that aren't College of Business students undergrad. So if you come in and decide to do one of the other great majors that we have on campus, we have 2 options for you there. 1, apply like normal. You take a couple of classes undergrad that would get you ready, or you go for the summer and get ready, and then you apply for the MBA and stay that extra year. Or we do have a program called MVP. This is the MBA Venture Pathway, and it's for students that are non-business, they're STEM heavy, and you apply. That application will actually open after December 1st, and if you meet the qualifications, you'll get the email. But if you have questions, you can always reach out and I can help you navigate that.
How would a language minor fit into a business degree?
Great question. So you have a couple of options. If you love language and you really want to study it while you're here, I encourage you to look at the International Business Program, because you actually get 2 degrees, one in business of your choice and then one in the language of your choice. But if you're like, I don't know if I want to take on that really heavy semester because it is very intensive, you can add a language minor to anything that we offer. Just doing it through international business means you actually get 2 diplomas when you graduate, and it would be actually in your language. And those classes aren't just learning how to speak the language, you're actually taking like literature and theater classes within those majors. So you kind of get the full, well-rounded cultural experience and appreciation throughout that program.
If I'm not good at math, which I completely understand,
Same.
And still interested in business, is there a major for me?
So this is like the biggest myth that I think we should do Mythbusters episode. Okay, so I think this is the biggest myth. You do not have to be good at math to be a business major. It helps, but it's not necessary. So my dad was an accountant or he still is an accountant. And I always grew up thinking, I can't do that because I can't do math. And he always argued with me and told me it's not math, it's problem solving, it's like puzzles. And that's the difference. The math in the College of Business is going to be real world kind of situational math. And I don't know about you, but it's a lot easier for me when I can put those numbers to an actual thing that they represent. So when you're talking about my money, I'm gonna pay a lot more attention. So it's a lot easier to navigate as you're kind of putting it in those situations. And if you still struggle, which I understand, I also struggle with math, we have lots of tutors, and we also have office hours for all of our teachers and professors. So you get a lot of help if you do hit any obstacles.
Is there a combined bachelor's and master's program at MSU?
So it's not necessarily combined, but they can tag into each other, since the undergrad program can be completed in 4 years and the master's is only 1 year, both for accounting as well as our master's of business administration. It's not necessarily like you sign up for one and you get all 5 years, but you can knock out both degrees in the 5 years that you're here.
How do classes vary with the Honors College?
Good question. So I actually have a lot of students that are in the Honors College because the Shackles Honors College here does a lot to support its students. And so some of the perks are that you actually get some smaller class sizes. And so my business students will actually see some of their more difficult classes like stats being smaller. So they actually get a lot more attention. They do have some more difficult assignments, but that's what you get when you go into the Shackles Honors. You're here to push yourself and take advantage of that. But it's very easy to navigate both the Shackles Honors as well as a business major. And you also get some help if you decide you want to study abroad or do some research, because the Shackles Honors College is a huge supporter of undergrad research and study abroad.
And also, our Shackles Honors College has its own curriculum, and so that if you're interested, you can also participate in the Cursus of Norm, which in another episode we did get a chance to discuss the Cursus of Norm. So check that out on our YouTube page so you can learn more about the honors curriculum. Keep those questions coming. These have been great. And if we don't get to your question, email us at admit@msstate.edu. Again, that's admit, ADMIT, at msstate.edu. Cozy, I think we've gotten to all of our questions so far. And so thank you guys for joining us. We've really enjoyed you. Thank you, Kelsey. I hope you've enjoyed the show.
I have. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you guys for participating in It's Major. If there's anything we could ever do for you, please let us know. And as always, Hell State.